Welcome back to my channel. In the last episode of The Woman the Oracle Refused, a child was born beneath a curse the village could not name. If this is your first time here, pause for a moment. Start with episode 1. This story unfolds in order, and every choice echoes forward. But if you are returning, tonight, the chase begins. The river will be tested, and the village will demand a price. This is episode 2. The child who would not die. The river roared in the darkness, swollen and restless, as Amara ran toward it with her child bound tightly to her back. Her breath burned in her chest. Her feet slipped against wet earth and stone, but she did not stop. She could hear them behind her, men shouting, torches cracking through the night, fear sharpening their voices. "Stop her!" someone shouted. Nemdi's voice cut through the chaos. "Run, Amara!" A spear struck the ground close enough for her to feel the tremor beneath her feet. The baby cried once, sharp and piercing, then went quiet again, as if the night itself had swallowed the sound. From the darkness behind them, calm and unhurried, the priest's voice carried across the water. The child must not cross the river. Amara reached the riverbank and hesitated. The water surged violently, dark and cold, pulling at itself like something alive. Nemdi stood beside her, his chest rising fast, his eyes scanning the shadows. "Once you cross," he said, "there is no return. They will erase your name from this land." Amara did not look at him. She stared at the water. "Let them erase it," she said. "Ash still remembers fire." "They will hunt you," Nemdi said. "Then let them chase a mother who refuses." Torchlight flared closer. Voices shouted her name like a curse. Nemdi stepped back and nodded once. "Go, do not look back." She grabbed his arm, her fingers shaking. "They will kill you." He met her eyes. "Then let it be for something that still breathes." Amara stepped into the river. The water slammed into her legs, stealing her balance, clawing at the cloth around her body. She fought forward, teeth clenched, every step an act of defiance. "Stop her!" the priest shouted. Thunder rolled across the sky. The river surged violently, churning as if angered by the command. The men at the bank fell back, shouting in fear, refusing to follow. Amara reached the far side and collapsed onto the wet earth. She did not turn around. Behind her, the night fell silent. "She crossed," the priest said softly. In the village at dawn, Nemdi was dragged into the square, his body bruised, his wrists bound. The fire still burned low, and the elders sat with faces carved from stone. "You helped her escape," Elder Umedi said. "She escaped because you were afraid of a baby," Nemdi replied. "Watch your mouth," the elder snapped. The ease rose slowly. "Nemdi, son of Mungbeleke, you have stepped outside the protection of this land." "Then your protection is built on cowardice," Nemdi said. A murmur passed through the crowd. "The balance must be restored," the priest said. The ease hesitated. "What does the oracle demand?" "Blood," the priest answered, "or her return." "The child is gone," Umedi said. The priest's eyes did not soften. "Then the river must be answered with a life." A single drumbeat sounded, low and final. That night, Okoye sat alone beside a dying fire. The flames flickered weakly, shadows climbing the walls of his compound. He stared into the embers, his hands clenched. "I should have gone," he whispered. In his mind, he heard the echo of a baby's cry. "I should have gone," he said again, his voice breaking. Footsteps approached. Elder Umedi stood at the edge of the firelight. Your wife has cursed this land, the elder said. No, Okoye replied, you did. You can still cleanse your house. By doing what? Find her. Bring back the child. Okoye swallowed. And if I refuse, then your name ends with you. The elder left him there, staring into the fire, trapped between fear and blood. Later, beneath the torchlight of the village square, Nemdi was tied to a wooden post. The crowd stood silent, too afraid to speak. Somewhere, a woman wept. The Ease looked away. Are we certain? Certainty has already passed us, the priest said. Let the land be cleansed, Elder Umidi declared. The drum rose, then stopped. A sudden wind swept through the square. Nemdi lifted his head. Look at yourselves, he shouted. You murder what you do not understand. A spear was raised. Then a sound cut through the night. A child's laugh, clear, close, impossible. The crowd froze. The spear slipped from the warrior's hand and struck the ground. What trick is this? Umedi whispered. The priest staggered back, his face draining of color. That voice? Nemdi frowned. That sounded like... The child lives, the priest said. Later, alone in the shrine, the priest stood before the fire. As it flared violently, shadows writhing along the carved walls. Why do you defy us? He demanded. The silence answered him. Speak, he cried. The fire roared higher, and memory crashed into him. Another woman, another child, another night when the oracle had spoken and been ignored. No, he whispered, not again. A drumbeat began somewhere deep in the land, slow and steady. She is not the first, the priest said, his voice breaking. The land had buried its past. Now it was breathing again. And what returned next would demand blood. Fear has spoken. But was it right? What would you have done in their place? Obey the oracle, or protect the child? Leave your thoughts in the comments. If you're following this story, subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next episode when it drops. If this episode moved you, tap the like button and share it with someone who listens closely. The drums are waking, and what comes next will not be silent.